is up, you guys? Film Fan 0599 here again, and today we're going to review Drones by Muse. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are on the last album that we have to review before Simulation Theory. I can't believe we're at this moment already, but we did it, so here we are. So let's talk about Drones. So, Drones is a 2015 released album. It is the 7th studio album from, of course, the band Muse. And Drones was, the band had really gotten a little bit tired of the experimental point in their career, with Black Holes and Revelations, with the Resistance, especially the Second Law. So they wanted to take a step back a bit and go back to the basics of how they were beforehand. So that got a lot of fans excited because, for the good majority of fans, they love the more aggressive, more, harder stuff from the band. So they were very excited that the band was going to go back to those basics. And, a lot of people got excited for that. And, some people were disappointed. Some people didn't really think the album was that great. Often regarded as probably the weakest album of the discography. But for me, even though it's not perfect, it definitely has its problems. I really like Drones, to be honest. I think there's a lot of really good things that has this album going for it. Like I said, there are some issues. I will get to them. But for the most part, I really do think it is a nice return to form to their original sound. And I quite like it a lot, honestly. I do think it is a very good album, honestly. I really like Drones a lot. It's very good in my opinion. I do quite like this album a lot. So, yeah, I guess we should just jump right into what I think is so good about this album, starting with, of course, with the production. So let's get right into that, shall we? So let's talk about the production on this album. And the production, to nobody's surprise, is fantastic on this album. Regardless of what you think of this album, I think there's two things that I think everyone could agree on. The first thing being is that the production is fantastic. Definitely the best element of this entire album, to be honest. The production is really amazing on this album. I really do think the band, like I said before, they go back to their older sound. They're much more aggressive, much more harder sound that they had beforehand. Before they went through that experimental phase in their careers. They go back to that sound on this album. And I will say it's a nice return to form for them on this album. I do think they do a really great job of bringing that aggression and bringing that much more harder sound that they had in their previous works back onto this one. So, yeah, I do think the band does do a really good job with that, and the production sounds very nice. The band does, all of the band does their parts extremely, extremely well. Matt, what else do I need to really say? He's an amazing vocalist. The dude just proves it on each album. Really love his vocal work a lot on here as well. Bringing that much more aggressive tone. Like I said beforehand on this album, and with songs like Psycho, Reapers, Dead Inside. Like the dude just has an absolutely amazing voice, and it really shows on this album. Like I really love how his vocals sound on this album, and like I said, adds a lot to a lot of the songs that are presented here on this album, and like I said, really makes his presence felt, and it's really amazing. Like I really love his vocal work a lot on this album, and just continuously proves why he's maybe the best frontman working today. So yeah, I absolutely love Matthew Bellamy's vocals on this album. The same goes with his guitar work here. His guitar work here is definitely some of the best guitar work he has ever done in his career. I absolutely love how the guitar sounds on this. It has a very muddy, very aggressive, very hard vibe with it. He just shreds on that thing on this album. And it's amazing. Like, guitar riffs on Psycho, Reapers, The Handler, like, the dude just, Defector, like, the dude just goes at it on the guitar on this album. And it's absolutely incredible. And, like I said, offers some of the best guitar riffs the dude has presented to us on any of these albums, and he does an absolutely phenomenal job with them on this record. Like he really does. Like I said, the guitar work is absolutely outstanding. The dude just shreds on it, and it's amazing to listen to. Like I really love the guitar work a lot on this album. Like I said, definitely some of the best Matt has had to offer on any of these albums. Same goes with Chris Wilson-Home on the bass. Definitely some of the best bass work he's had to offer on any of the albums. Like I love his bass lines on this album, kind of similar to Matt's guitar work. It's very muddy, very gritty, just like, with Matt's guitar work. Like, and, he just brings that, grittiness to it. And, like on songs like Psycho, Mercy, Reapers, The Globalist, like, the dude just goes at it on the bass. And, like, some of my absolute favorite bass lines, are on this album. I absolutely love his bass work a lot on this thing. Like, he does an absolutely phenomenal job on this album. Like, I really love his bass work a lot, honestly. Like, they're really, really incredible, honestly. Like, I really love how, he just brings that aggression to it and makes his presence felt, and it's absolutely incredible. And same goes with Dominic Howard on the drums. Some of his best drumming work to date is on this album. Like, I absolutely love his drumming on this album. Like, his drumming is absolutely outstanding, just like what Matt and Chris have to do. He brings his he makes his presence felt on this album. And, he really does, show why he is one of the best drummers in the game right now, because, he is absolutely incredible and just goes at it on those drums. And, despite what you might think of some of these albums, you have to at least admit that the band does do all their respective jobs very well. And coming together as a band, and, just the way it sounds is absolutely amazing. Like, it doesn't even feel like 3 people are playing. It feels like there's at least 6 people playing in this band, but no, it's just 3. And that's an absolutely amazing feat, in my opinion, that the fact that there's only 3 guys in this band, and it sounds like just like 6 guys are playing like 5 different instruments or something like that, And it's just 3 guys going at it, and it's absolutely amazing and absolutely outstanding to me. And, definitely the band does an absolutely amazing job on this album. And, like usual, just brings it's all, and it's absolutely incredible. So yeah, the band does their absolute best job on this album, honestly. Like, they really do. They bring it their all, just like they do on every album, to be honest. So yeah, the production sounds really great. Now this album follows like a loose concept. It's kind of a loose concept album, this album. So the story that Matt is trying to present here is that a woman is living in like a society where it's being run by robotics and drones. Basically, that's what this loose concept of this is supposed to be. And this is what's going to lead into some of my issues with the album. While for the most part I am interested in this concept and I do like following it, it gets a bit boring towards like, I want to say from like track 9 to like track 12, to be honest. Like the last couple of tracks, it kind of gets a bit boring. Like I'm not as interested anymore. Like once Defector hits and once she breaks free from the, from like the society and stuff, it kind of becomes boring. It kind of doesn't get as interesting anymore. And while there is interesting moments that do happen in between those tracks, it's just not as interesting as it was in the first 8 tracks, and that what's really leads me into some of my problems. And I will say that concept kind of gets a bit boring after track 8. Like I said, there are some interesting moments here and there in some of those tracks and some parts in this loose concept, but it's not as strong as it was in the first 8 tracks, in my opinion. So yeah, while the concept is pretty solid for the most part, there are times, mostly towards the end of it, where it kind of gets boring. I'm not as interested as I was in the first half of it. So yeah, and I guess that's really all I got to say about the production, so I guess we should get into the tracks. So let's get into the tracks, ladies and gentlemen, on Drone. So here we go. Now for the tracks on Drone. So here we go with the track listing. I'm going to start off with, of course, like I always do, with the opening track. And the opening track here on this album is Dead Inside. Now, Dead Inside is supposed to be, well, according to Matt, is supposed to be about basically losing the hope in yourself and in humanity, basically. Becoming, well, dead inside, basically. And really presents that very well in the lyrics. I really love the lyrics a lot on this album, on this song. I really love the lyrics a lot on this song, honestly. Like, I really do think they are very great, honestly. Definitely some of the best lyrics that the band has presented to us in general, honestly. Like, I really love how it takes that concept, like Matt said, and presents it here in the song in the lyrics, and I really love that a lot. And you know how the song opens where it goes dead inside, and you know you hear the drums come in. I really love how the drums sound a lot on this song, to be honest. Like they sound really, really nice. And how they mix with the bass, man, the bass line is really amazing on this song, and just how it like mixes with the drums. Fantastic, like nice mixing there on that song, to be honest. Like I really love the mixing a lot on that song, honestly. Like it's really, really amazing, and it does its job well as an opening track, getting you invested in what is to come on this album. And it's really, really great, honestly. Like really hooks you in, you know, just like with all of Muse's opening tracks, really sets you in on what the album is going to have in store for you. It's really fantastic. I really love this opening track a lot. Matt's vocal work sounds really amazing on the song. Like I really love his vocal work, especially when you get to the dead inside, like and background vocals come with it as well. Like I love that. Like it's nice, kind of rally call in some ways. Honestly, like I really love that a lot. It's really fantastic. You know, and like I said before, the thing I really praise about the song the most is indeed the lyrics. I think the lyrics are absolutely incredible here. Like, and the way Matt sings them, like Matt's vocals just bring them even more, like brings even more greatness to the lyrics, because you know just the way he sings them and the way that he presents them are absolutely incredible. So yeah, that is definitely my favorite element of this song. To be honest, it has one of my favorite closing lines to any song, to be honest. Like I love it, you know, where he's like, on the outside I'm the greatest guy, but now I'm dead inside, basically showing, you know, I've just lost all hope, you know, I'm just done, basically, you know what I mean? Like I just like how that sets the tone for what's to come on this album and just ends the song, honestly. Like I really love that a lot. Like it's definitely one of my favorite closing lines to any song, to be honest. Like the way it just kind of ends on that note, basically, like I'm done. I'm done. Like I've lost everything. Like it just how it just ends, and then where it leads into the next track is absolutely amazing. I really love that a lot. So yeah, Dead Inside does its job tremendously well as an opening track and really getting you invested into the album. It is definitely one of the best songs on this album. Now the next song I want to talk about is Defector. Defector is definitely one of the ones that took me by like that whenever I first listened to the album, because that just that guitar riff of like just that guitar riff, dude, it's so earwormy. Like a lot of the guitar riffs on this album, it's very earwormy, very like just, it's so aggressive. And what this song is basically talking about is in this point of the story, the character is broken free. The character has escaped, has basically run away from society. And you know, it's absolutely amazing. Like I love the rally cry in the chorus where it's like, free, yeah, I'm free. Like it's amazing, from society. Like it's absolutely great, man. Like it's so awesome to listen to, and you feel kind of free when you're listening to it too. It's absolutely fantastic. Like also I love the backing vocals when it goes like, from society. Like the backing vocals with it are absolutely incredible. I really like how they're implemented into that. Just adds so much to it. Like, you know, and the guitar riff is fantastic. Man, one of my favorite riffs that Matt has ever done. I love the guitar riff on this. Like, it's so amazing. And the drumming is great here, too. The bass work is fantastic. Like, the mixing on this song is absolutely incredible. I love the mixing a lot on this song. And then when it gets to the verses, it's kind of a little bit more quiet. It's kind of, a little bit more toned down. Not as hard, but it's kind of toned down just a bit. You still hear the drums, you still hear the bass. But then once that chorus comes back again, you hear that guitar just screeching in. And it's amazing. Like, it just has such a high intensity to it. It's absolutely fantastic, in my opinion. I love Defector so much. Definitely a very underrated track, in my opinion, honestly. Like, I think this song should get a lot more recognition. This is an absolutely fantastic tune and definitely one of the best that the band has ever presented to us. So, yeah, I love Defector so much. Such an underrated track, man. Awesome tune. Next track I want to talk about is the track Psycho. Psycho was the first single released off of this album, and it's the first bit of taste that people got of it. And this song actually starts off with a drill sergeant intro beforehand, and I really like how that sets the tone for the song. You know what I mean? And what is to present in it. Because basically what the song is about, it's about, someone taking advantage of another person and making them into basically someone that they're not. That's basically what the basic premise of the song is. And I love it. It's so amazing. After you hear that drill sergeant intro, you hear just that guitar riff of jam, 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 like just that guitar riff, that very aggressive and very just in-your-face guitar riff. It's amazing. And what's crazy about that is that they've been playing that riff for basically their entire careers. Like, that riff has been a part of their live shows for God knows how long. But they didn't put it into a song until now with Psycho. And it's absolutely incredible. Like, I love, how that riff is implemented into this song. It is phenomenal in my opinion. Like, I love how that riff sounds on this song. It's absolutely fantastic. Definitely one of my favorite riffs. Probably my favorite riff of this entire decade, to be honest. I love that riff so much, and how it's implemented into the song and adds just that aggression feel to it is amazing. I love the lyrics to this. The lyrics are just so in your face and so just badass, honestly. Like, that's the best way to describe it. And it's just amazing. Like, I love, also, one of my favorite pre-choruses to a chorus ever is in this song and another song we'll get into later on. But one of my absolute favorite pre-choruses to a chorus is in this song. It's amazing. Like, when he goes like, I'm gonna make you, and this is Chris singing it, actually. This is Chris singing this. He's like, I'm gonna make you a psycho, and it's amazing, and it's absolutely incredible. Like, I love how it just leads into the chorus. You know what I mean? I absolutely love that a lot. Like, it's absolutely fantastic, like, how it leads into the chorus of the song. It's great, like, and it just has such a feel to it, and it's absolutely amazing. I know most people hate this about this song, and that's the drill sergeant kind of segments that happen in between the song. But I think it adds a lot to it, honestly. Like, I think it adds a lot to what the song is presenting. And it works for me, honestly. I can definitely see why it doesn't work for other people, but it definitely works for me, to be honest. Like, I think it just adds so much more to the song that it already has, honestly. Like, it's absolutely fantastic, in my opinion. Also, gotta give major props to Dominic and Chris on this song, too. The drumming is absolutely amazing here from Dominic. I absolutely love his drumming on this song. And same goes with Chris's somewhat thumping bass, somewhat. On this song, it's absolutely fantastic, in my opinion. I absolutely love what both of them bring to this song as well. It's just such a badass tune, man. Like, I absolutely love this track a lot. It's definitely one I always come back to on this album. Just really, really phenomenal stuff, honestly. I really love Psycho a lot. Now, the last track I want to talk about in full detail is the song Reapers. Now, earlier I said there's two things that people basically agree upon. No matter what they feel about this album, there's two things that people agree upon with this album. One, that the production is fantastic and probably the best element of the entire album. And two, the song Reapers is the best song on the whole album. Reapers is like one of the best songs the band has ever done. Easily. Like, honestly, maybe top 10. Honestly. Like, seriously, this song. Whew, okay. So to start off with the song, we hear the guitar. And we hear the drums. We kind of hear the drums just kind of going at it a tiny bit, and then we hear the guitar. And you just hear Matt just kind of like plucking with it, and it's amazing. Like, seriously, like, he's just tapping at it, tapping on the board, and it's amazing. Like, you just hear that in the beginning of the song. You hear the bam, 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 and then once Matt starts singing the first verse of the song, how the bass is going crazy on that song. I don't know what Chris was doing. He was just going at it on that, and just how, like, the verse, and he's singing the verse to it. Matt, and it's absolutely fantastic. I really love how the drums and the guitar and bass really mix together on that song. It's really amazing. And then once we get to that pre-chorus of kill by drones, like, it's just amazing. Like, and once again, what's funny enough, Chris is also singing the pre-chorus to this song. And like I mentioned before, there were two songs that have some of the best pre-choruses to choruses I've ever heard in a song. This is the other one, Reapers. And it's even better in this song. Like, you know, when he goes, I kill by drones. Like, just the way it's implemented, and then the way it builds into the chorus, it's amazing. Like, and then when that chorus hits, it's fantastic. Honestly, guys, I love how the guitar sounds on the chorus. Oof, oof, this song, man. Oof, it's epic. It really is, honestly. This song is such an epic tune. It really is. It's one of the best songs the band has ever done. It's over 6 minutes long and never feels like that. Like, honestly, this could have been the 10-minute song, to be honest. Like, there's so much going on in this song, and it's absolutely fantastic. Like, and then that breakdown that happens with that little guitar solo, it's amazing. Like, it's absolutely fantastic. Like, I love this song so much. Like, it is so epic and so grand in so many ways, and just takes you by the ear and makes you listen. Like, basically takes your ear and slams you to the ground and makes you listen. That's exactly what this song does. And, you know, it's just so in your face and so, like, you know, just aggressive, and it's amazing. Like, it's really fantastic. This is definitely, like, one of the best songs the band has ever presented to the masses, to be honest. This is an absolute masterpiece of a song. And then when we get to the last, like, minute and a half of this song, you know, we hear the bass going, and then we hear just Chris going, "Here come the drones," and that's what's repeated throughout, like, the last minute and a half of this song, and we just hear the band just going crazy towards the end of the song. It's absolutely fantastic. And, you know, because what the song is basically talking about, you know, is that the impact that drones have had on modern warfare, and basically the dangers and the simplicity, I believe that's how you say it, of them. And it's absolutely amazing, and basically showing the chaotic feel, honestly, and it's amazing. Like, I really love how the song is executed, to be honest, and the way that that premise is executed into this song, not only in the lyrics, but also in the instrumentation of it. And it's really amazing, in my opinion. Like, I really love it a lot, honestly. Like, it's so disastrous, but so amazing. I really love it a ton. So, yeah, Reaper's easily my favorite song off of this entire album. I love this song to death so much. Such a fantastic tune, in my opinion. As for other songs I enjoy off of this album, like I said before, you know, Mercy is a great one. Has a nice, like, little bass and piano tone to it. That's a nice song to listen to. The Handler is great as well. I really enjoyed that one as well. So, yeah, those are two tracks I also come back to a lot off of this album. Now for the tracks I really don't care for. The Globalist is good for the... okay, I'll say this. The Globalist, for the first 4 minutes of it, is boring as hell. Not until we get to, like, the 5-minute mark of it is when it becomes kind of interesting. I start enjoying the song a bit more. But, like, the first kind of 4 minutes to it are really boring. But after that, it becomes a really interesting song. I quite enjoy it a lot. And Drones is a nice closing track. I will give it that. Drones is a nice closing track. I do think it kind of closes out the album very well. I will say that. I do like Drones as a closing track. Really, the tracks I could care less about, or like I said, the first half of The Globalist, and one of the other ones is Aftermath. Aftermath is boring to listen to. It really is. It is such a drag of a song to listen to be honest. It's almost 6 minutes long, and it feels even longer, to be honest. Like, you know, I love slow songs. I'm a sucker for slow songs. I love slow songs, but man, does this one do nothing interesting. Not even in the last portion of the song where it's just a bit louder. It's not even interesting at that point either, honestly. And like I said, this is kind of where we're in the point where the story kind of gets a bit boring. I'm not as interested. And I really don't like this track all that much. It's kind of boring. The production sounds kind of lame on this song, to be honest. Like, it's a boring track to listen to and drags on a little bit too much, honestly. I just don't find myself as interested in this song. I really, not even on re-listenings of this album, I just don't really care for this track, to be honest. It's just kind of boring. And then Revolt, I'm sorry. The worst song the band has ever done. There's just no simpler way to play it. This song is bad. Like, really bad. Like, really bad, honestly. Like, this song is bad. It's almost unbearable to listen to. Not even Matt's vocal work is great on this song. Matt's vocal work is actually kind of bad. Well, in the chorus sounds fine. I'll definitely say that's the best part of this song. The chorus is okay. It's not a drag to listen to the chorus, but everything else is bad. Matt doesn't even sound good on the verses. He sounds really terrible, especially in the first verse. My God Almighty. And the production sounds really bad. Like, ugh. This song is just ugh. Honestly, like, it's definitely my least favorite song the band has ever done. Like, I can't stand to listen to Revolt, honestly. Like, I almost feel like skipping it each time I, like, re-listen to this album. But, you know, I like to listen to all the songs on the albums, even if I don't like them, because, you know, because I'm just, yeah, but still, Revolt is still not good. It's still a terrible track, honestly. Definitely my least favorite track on this album, and my least favorite track from the band in general. So, yeah, that song kind of sucks, and I really don't like it. I think a lot of people would agree with me on that. So, yeah. But other than that, the track listing is really good here, mostly for the first 6 tracks. Really, there's 10 tracks off this album. There's like 2 interludes, but for the mostly 6 out of the 10 tracks are really fantastic. So, yeah. So overall, Drones, I do think is a very good album. Like I said, there are some issues with it, and there are some things that I don't really like about it. Some of the tracks are kind of not the best, and I do think the story and this concept that Matt is trying to present gets a little bit boring towards the end. But other than that, this album has some really fantastic production, has some really great songs on this album. It's really a very good track, and it's a nice return to form to the much more harder sound. So, yeah, overall, I really like Drones. Is it kind of one of their weaker albums? Yeah, I would say so, but it's still a very good album. I still come back to it a lot, to be honest, especially my favorites like Reapers and Psycho. Like, I still do come back to this album, honestly. It's still a very good album, in my opinion. Even on the re-listens last night, I re-listened to this album twice. I honestly still felt the same way. It's still a very good album, in my opinion. I really quite like Drones a lot. So it's time for my official rating on Drones, and my official rating on Drones is a 3.5 out of 5. It's a very good album, in my opinion. I really quite like I said, the production is very great. You know, a lot of the tracks, honestly, are really fantastic. You know, like I said, some of my issues kind of get in the way of me giving a higher grade. But overall, I do think it's a very good album. So, yeah, Drones, really solid. Definitely deserves a 3.5 out of 5. Whoo! Oh boy, we did it. Boys, we did it. We talked about each and every Muse album before the release of Simulation Theory. Oh my goodness. I didn't think we were going to be able to do it, but we did it. So, yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this nice little retrospective of Muse's discography before the release of Simulation Theory. And, of course, you can expect a review of Simulation Theory, maybe not once the album comes out, but somewhere around there. So, yeah, definitely tune in for that. And I would like to thank you all for watching all these Muse reviews. I very much appreciate it. Had a blast talking about the discography of one of my all-time favorite bands. So, thank you. So, now I leave the question to you, my good people. What did you think of Drones, and what is your favorite track off the album? Please leave in the comment section below. And I'm FilmFan0599, and we will see you about later. Peace.